Hi everyone, so today I'm going to do a quick comparison of the small Lena cups. These two are both smalls in different colors, and the small Sckoon and the large Sckoon. A commenter asked me to compare the small Lena to the small Sckoon, and I decided to include the large as well just because my large has the stem intact, and the large Sckoon and small Lena are closer in size than I think people would realize. So I'm just going to show you a close-up of each cup first to give you the construction and the dimensions of the cup, and then I'll do the comparison. So these are both small Lenas. The one on the left is the new turquoise color that Lena has done in collaboration with Bree from Precious Stars, and this is the original pink on the right. Everything about these cups is exactly the same size, same firmness, same construction. The only difference is that I haven't cut the stem off of the new one yet because I just got it yesterday, and I want to see if maybe I can keep the stem on this time, but I'll see. So I'm just going to show you this one since it's intact. The cup has 4 suction release holes, 2 close together on one side and 2 close together on the opposite side. The holes are kind of cut, they're at the same level horizontally, but they kind of are slanted, so they start here and then finish a little bit to the right on the inside. They're good size holes. I've used them away from home, and they're pretty easy to clean. The stem is pretty flexible and just stretchy enough, I think, to get a good grip on it if you need the stem to kind of help you pull your cup down to get it out. I cut the stem off the original one I bought, because for me my cups are very low and the stem is uncomfortable to keep on. Look at the Sckoon. I'm sorry, I need to give you the dimensions. So the small Lena is 41 millimeters in diameter, 46 millimeters long without the stem, and 25 milliliter capacity. The small Sckoon, the construction of these two cups is exactly the same, slightly different firmness. I talk about that in my review of the Sckoon, so you can take a look at that to see that. 5 suction release holes, slanted upwards, starts low on the outside and high on the inside. Flower petal pattern on the bottom, and a nice stretchy stem that's kind of tapered and generally very comfortable. I explained in my review why I cut the stem of the small, so I won't get into that here. Dimensions of the small Sckoon. The small Sckoon is 40 millimeters in diameter. I've measured mine at 45 millimeters long. Somewhere on their website it says 40 millimeters long. It's definitely not that short. And capacity of 23 milliliters. The large Sckoon, diameter of 45 millimeters, height of 50 millimeters, not including the stem, and capacity of 30 milliliters. So I'm going to compare. I'm going to just show you the small Sckoon with the small Lena without the stem, just because I think without the stem it's easier to get an idea of the comparison of the height of the cup itself without the stem. So the Lena is a little bit longer, as you can see, and it's definitely a bigger cup. The construction of the Sckoon, because the Sckoon has such a high, because the holes go up to the top, the capacity, it has more capacity for its size, I think, than the Lena does. Most of the Lena's capacity is in the base here. We see that kind of flare. Here you can see the grip rings compared. If you actually need the grip rings to get something out, the Lena grip rings are definitely better. I'll just give you the pretty prominent grip rings, as opposed to the Sckoon one where they're kind of flimsy, for lack of a better word. Like if you pull your finger down, the grip rings kind of lie back. Look at their suction release holes. Again, the Sckoon goes from starts low and ends high on the inside. The Lena is horizontal. I find them both easy to clean. What I do with my Sckoon holes, I just bend the cup back over the hole, and that opens it up wide enough to kind of just wipe it out. So that's what I do when I use my Sckoon away from home. To compare the firmness, and I look at the diameter as well. The diameters are about the same. The internal diameter of the Lena is bigger, and if you watch my Sckoon review, you'll see why that's important. If your cervix tends to sit inside of a cup, you're going to have more room for it to sit in the Lena. Even though this is technically a shorter cup, it's possible that the Lena might work better for a low cervix, because if your cervix needs to go into the cup, or you need the cup to kind of get up and around your cervix, you're going to want something with a bigger internal diameter. To compare the firmness, so one interesting thing about the Lena is that the rim is softer than the base, right? So I'm going to compare the rims first. Hopefully I can, so you kind of see that the Lena is a little bit softer. Just press it on the rims. If I press on the base, hopefully you see that. So okay, the Lena is much softer in terms of the rim. Press it on the base though, you can see inside the cup. I would say the Lena is a little bit firmer, but kind of almost a negligible amount. So if firmness is not a factor, then I would say pick whichever cup you like better. I personally find the Lena more comfortable, and the soft rim is part of that. And then just to compare the stems of the cup, so I'm going to show you the stem of the intact one here. So it has these 1, 2, 3, 4 grip rings on the stem, and the Sckoon stem, this is the large Sckoon, but the stem is the same on the small. 1, 2, 3, 4 grip rings on the stem as well, but the stems are different between the Sckoon and the Lena. So the Lena stem is a little bit longer. I think probably a little bit more sturdy if you really need to use your stem to get your cup down. This one stretches a little bit too much maybe if you need to pull on it to get your cup to walk down a bit. But remember that you really shouldn't use your stem to remove your cup. You're just supposed to use your stem to get your cup into a place where you can grab the base. So if the stem is important, probably the Lena is going to be sturdier for you to use. And I'm going to compare the large Sckoon to the small Lena, just because I think you wouldn't realize it, but they're pretty similar in size actually. So when I bought my Sckoon last year, the Lena was the next cup I tried after that, or I tried my Lena soon after that, and the Lena worked for me for all the reasons that the Sckoon did, and then it was a little bit better because it was smaller, but some of the main reasons that they both work for me is because they both have a bell shape. You can see that the difference in height is pretty negligible, especially when you ignore the stem. And they have like a nice gentle flare that opens the top up enough that my service can rest inside of the cup. So let me just compare the firmnesses here. So I'm just going to try to do just the rims first. So the Sckoon is a little bit softer, if you can see that. The base is definitely, like, of the Sckoon is a lot softer than the Lena. But you see how much the base caves in there of the Sckoon compared to the Lena. But then the rims are more similar. So then you can see that the Lena rim is really a lot softer than you would expect it to be. Which I personally like from the Lena, because when you remove your cup, or if you're one of those people who has to kind of, I know for me, a lot of people do this kind of C-fold and pull the cup out like that. I can't really get my cup out like that, so I have to pinch the base to break the seal, and then kind of walk the cup down half at a time, or a bit at a time. So for me, my cup, the rim tends to stay open the whole time I'm removing my cup, so having a rim that is either small or soft is very important to me. So that's why I like the Lena so much, because you have a soft rim for when you need to remove it, or when you insert it and you don't have to worry about it popping and hitting you too hard. But also because the base is firm, the cup tends to still pop open easily, and it's going to withstand any exercise. So hopefully that was helpful in terms of comparing the Lena, small Lena, to the small Sckoon and large Sckoon. If I missed anything that you wanted to see compared, let me know, and I will try to let you know how that actually works. Thanks for watching. Bye.